I was praying today about my Thursday throwback message. It's be number 7. And it came to mind how when I was a young Christian, hadn't been saved about 3 months, that my husband got laid off from work. And so a couple of the friends that I had just met in church came, and both of them gave us a little offering. And so I didn't understand why they did it. And they explained to me, they said, we pay our tithes and offerings and everything. This is a love offering. We want to be able to help you if we can. So I said, okay, I appreciate that. So the pastor must have heard us talking, and he realized I didn't know what tithing was. So he made that one of his messages that he got up and preached on the next time about tithing. And so I went home and I told my husband, I said, I think that this is a formal church, and you're going to have neckties and suits and stuff if you go to this church, or you're going to have necktie and sweaters at least. And I said that I never heard of tithes, Tithes. I never heard of it. So we quit going because he didn't have any neckties, and he just had his shirt and pants. So anyway, these ladies that had given me the offering called me up and wanted to know, did they offend me by offering to help me? And I told them no. I said, he don't have no tithes to wear. And she said, what in the world are you talking about? And I said, well, the pastor said you need to tithe if you're just going to come to that church. And he told you that you tithe and you'd be blessed if you wore. She said, honey, she said, the tithe he's talking about is 10% of your income, not neckties or dress. She said, you wear whatever you want to this church. They're not going to say anything to you. You give 10% of your income in tithe. You give offerings if you feel like it, whatever you've got and you can afford, whatever. She said that's what he was talking about. So we started going back to church. And so that's the first I ever heard of tithing. But I want to tell you, that was the beginning of many years of being blessed. Because during that time, we were on unemployment. $126 a week. We had two kids in high school, and anybody knows, back in 1982, when you had 2 children in high school, you knew the bills were high, the books and the supplies and the clothes and everything else they needed. It was very expensive. We never went one time without anything that those kids needed. The Lord supplied every need that we had. And he got the best paying job he'd ever had in his lifetime. And he stayed with that job 13 years after we started tithing. And I know a lot of people don't believe in tithing, but that's left up to you. That's your choice. But the Bible does say that God does love a cheerful giver. And that he says that if you sow sparingly, you'll reap sparingly. If you sow bountifully, you'll reap bountifully. And I think it pleases God when you see somebody in a need, you want to help them. When you voluntarily give 10% of your income or more, and you give it to the place where your storehouse is at, wherever you're going to church at, or whomever the Lord leads you to support. So anyway, that was my education, my lesson on tithing.